How do I do? Happy New Year. Good to be back. Let's talk about junior level environment art portfolio snapshot in terms of what does your portfolio need to look like and what is the meta for having an effective portfolio to get into the games industry nowadays. And I'm going to look at four portfolios, mainly the ones from 2025, but I want to backdate to 2023 and 2021 from two of my sort of former students at university and what their portfolios look like and what the differences are now in 2025 and where I think the meta is for a really good, effective portfolio as an environment artist. So let's get into it. First and foremost, big shout out to all the Patreon Floof Wall of Fame supporters. You make these videos possible, and thank you for supporting me as well. If you want to join the Patreon? Information is in the description below with a link to this Miro board where you see all the goodies that you can get for $4.99 a month. Shelling over. So, if I like my advice, right, in terms of environment art, you want to make an environment art portfolio and you're starting from fresh. What's the meta? What is currently the benchmark that's being showcased out there? And what information can we draw from that? So I want to go in and I've got these four portfolios and we just look at the thumbnail sections for now, then we'll go onto the website. We've got two from like former students from when I used to teach and two from folks that are either in the industry or close to getting into the industry from 2025 from, I believe, Think Tank. Yes. I think both of these are from Think Tank. Yeah, they are. Cool. So we'll look at this. So let's first look at 2025 and see what the consistency of these things are. So let's go in. And this chap, I'm going to say Ioannis, sorry if I get your name wrong. Junior environment artist at Vert Paint Studios, very recently got into the industry, has an 80 level breakdown of their environment, has 3 environments total and 1 prop. If you hide that sort of 80 level article, you've essentially got 3 environments, 1 prop. I believe this was the environment that got him a lot of attention, as you can see. You know, we say not to base things off numbers on ArtStation, but there is some, like, with likes and views that high, it is a rough indicator of how well you're doing on a piece. Not to be taken too seriously, but it does trend in terms of what people think of stuff. So yeah, beautiful environment. Modeled over it using the concept, breakdowns, block out, camera matching, and then I think we just clicked on this one. It has a breakdown as well. And we may have just clicked on the breakdown. Yeah, we did. So let's click on the beauty shot here. Yeah, so just like lots of madness, breakdowns of the modular bits, all that sort of stuff. Now I want to get to the point of what the quality is and what the meta is, because you guys are going to have a rough idea about modularity, trim sheets, all that sort of stuff, right? You guys, if you're training in environment art, you know what a lot of this stuff is. What you may not know is what is the meta, like what is the portfolio advice I would give you as an environment artist, and what I would do if I wanted to go into environment art, what I would prepare. Also, buffer views. Oh, so good. Not enough people provide buffer views. Side tangent. Please provide buffer views. They're so important and they really show your knowledge of actually making environment art in terms of good albedo brightness and good roughness variation. But yeah, lovely stuff. So let's look at the front page of that and then let's go to this one. Same sort of thing. We have prop, breakdown of environment. So 1, 2, 3 to 4 pieces. This here, you could probably put that into another piece and it's the same sort of thing, right? Very small amount of work. Ideally, 2 to 3 pieces, right? With one piece being a specific type of genre. But again, lovely stuff. Also another Think Tank student, gift process. And then if we go back a little bit, this is kind of what junior quality would be back in, I say back in the day. Ben's a senior environment artist now, but, a lot of sort of environmentally work, trim sheets, modular, not too much prop work. I do think the meta is changing a little bit personally, but this again is another example of, I think excluding the beyond extent pieces, the quality of what you could do. Now, would this still get into industry today as a junior? Yeah, I think so. Yes, for sure. It'll definitely get you into interviews. For sure. And then another one, Matthew recently got into industry a few years ago. Same sort of thing, one environment, one prop, and then a BE challenge, which I think was afterwards. So what is the trend on all of these? Well, 3 of these, because this one doesn't have it. So what is the trend? The trend is, and the meta, what I believe is effective, and I'll tell you why in a moment, is that you want to have at least 1 or 2 environment art pieces that are modular, trim sheets, RGB masks, the bigger picture, the things that are like environmenty. There's not too much complex modeling per se, but there's a lot of architectural modeling and modeling to the grid and maybe sculpting some damage and doing lots of tiling materials, right? 1 to 2 of those, because that shows that you can work on the bigger picture. All right. So if we go for what do we want first have? 1 to 2 environment art pieces. Small scope. Please don't try and make huge cities. Showcasing modularity, trim sheets, RGB masks, shader work. The bigger picture stuff, essentially, right? You may not necessarily have the high detail props in there, but you can showcase that you can make an environment. That's step 1. Now, step 2, what do you think I'm going to say? Step 2 is, just going to circle some of these. Sorry, itchy nose. Step 2 is to have 1 high quality prop, high to low poly, singular prop in with high focal length, multi materials, charming subject matter. So in the case of this portfolio, right, we've got this little compass or stopwatch, very charming. We've got this filing cabinet, again, rustic, charming, metal, wood, stickers, marble, metal, engravings. And then we've got, this one's my personal favorite, this sort of spanner that's got like painted wood into rusty metal, showing the signs of wear and usage. And I would consider these charming. What do I consider not charming, right? Probably like, I don't know, a dumpster, AK-47, the things that have been done to death. There is this sort of thing where if you make these old school Victorian classical props, they seem to hit a lot harder with recruiters and lead artists because it's very charming. It has more material variation you can do. You want to pick something that has lots of different materials so you can show your knowledge, right? And the whole point of this is that this one showcases your understanding of making an environment technically and artistically. And this one showcases your ability to be an artist that can break up materials, do a high to low bake. And on this, you can, lock in on a prop. And this, you can show the bigger picture like this. So your meta is you have one, at least at the bare minimum, 1 environment and 1 hero prop, and you're ready to apply. Ideally, 2 environments, 1 hero prop. You don't need much. If you take that, and that away, what is that? That's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 pieces. But this portfolio would still hit hard with the 3 pieces. And this one, I think at the time it was the 1 and 2. This one was pure environmenty, so it doesn't fit that sort of standard. Again, this is not a super hard, like you must do this. It's where I think the meta is, and it's where I think is going to give you your sort of best sort of chance in being competitive, because again, it shows a lead artist that you can do both aspects of the environment art world, the bigger picture and the smaller picture. So if you're looking to make an environment art portfolio and you're in the process, make your first environment or 2, then make a high detailed prop that has multiple materials on, maybe wood, metal, painted metal, brass, maybe an old school coffee grinder, maybe a I don't know, musky. It's something that has a lot of things on it and is going to look really cool subjectively to a lot of people, which does tend to be a lot of old school stuff. So that is my advice. I'll link all these portfolios in the description, but this is what I would say the meta is. Quality over quantity. You only need 2 at minimum to be competitive. The rest is just you learning and reiterating and updating your portfolio and getting better at your craft. And if you have to do that a few times, that's the way to do it. But yeah, that's what I'd say the current meta is for getting an environmental art job as a junior / entry level into the games industry. Hope this helps. See you soon.